is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy JDiesel coming at you live with the 29th episode of Under the Radar.
What the fuck?
And we
29?
are back at exactly 29, my man. And with me, as always, my partner in crime, Grandmaster FloKey. How you doing today, my man?
I'm tired.
You're
Did
tired?
You guys miss me? You guys miss me for a week?
I
went
did.
I was on a social media cleanse for a week. So like I did explain it on Twitter. So like what happened like midway through the week was like I started gradually like re-downloading my apps back because like I wanted to gradually get back into things. Just took the break after Summit Wrath of the Mix. With us tonight is actually third place finisher over at Wrath of the Mix and one of CT's, in my opinion, CT's dark horse going into the rest of the season. Rest of season 2 into season 3. He's been on his grind. He was the LCQ. He qualified last second on August 6th for Wrath. Had an incredible run. And he's actually one of our first Kid Buu players. I think one of our few Kid Buu players.
True.
He had Sage on in the past.
Sage was, I don't think he was on his Kid Buu team by that point.
Yeah.
Because we had Sage a while ago. I would say the most recent Kid Buu we had was Mac.
So this was our second Kid Buu, and I think one of the first few Yamchas that we had. But you guys probably know him for his Vegito. Please welcome CT's own Mozo to the pod.
Hey.
Hello. How you guys doing?
What's going on, my friend? How is your Monday treating you?
Good. Just worked and then came back home and played some. I was actually playing Dragon Ball when you guys called me. So
sick.
Yeah, that's always got to get on that grind.
That's one thing I wanted to actually kind of like start about. So you're from my state. You're from CT.
Correct.
I've seen your growth. Real preface. One thing I can kind of say is that you tend to, if you lose a set or like you're eliminated in bracket, you go immediately back to the lab, like
I get
at the local. Why is that? Like, are you just that hungry for the grind? Or are you just like?
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of been that way with fighting games. I just want to get better, and I think that's like one of my favorite things about fighting games is just kind of learning the matchups and practicing and putting the time in, and then it's really rewarding when you can actually see the progression of your own skill. More so than any other thing because you actually, like I said, practice and put the time in for these combos and work on your neutral. I mean, I can go pick up a shooting game and then shoot, just mess around. But some games you can practice in, but it's not like a fighting game where you dedicate, and it takes a different kind of mentality to really put your nose to the grind and try to improve.
Yeah, that makes sense. Considering that, so this is not your first fighting game. You've been around the block, right?
Growing up, I had Marvel's Capcom 1, so that was probably the first fighting game ever. And I loved that game.
Marvel 1 with like gold. We had like Gold War Machine.
Yeah.
And Red Venom.
Yep.
And Onslaught was like the secret character.
Yeah. Oh my god, that game is a masterpiece. Also, I'm sorry, I have to get this quick fact in because this kills me every single time I remember it. On the left side of the screen, in the player 1 side, that is the only side with infinite protection. The right side of the screen does not have infinite protection. If we want to talk about fighting games, right? Just as some jank that's been around forever. And I literally watched a tournament where a guy on the left side of the screen was getting comboed, and it dropped because the infinite protection kicked in on the 69th hit. It's like, yeah, he would have lost the game if he was playing on the right-hand side, right?
Oh my god.
So if you started with Marvel 1, I respect that journey, right? Like that's a good place to start.
That's like dedicate. Like a lot of people like did start with versus games because like it was just notorious and like so you start with Marvel 1.
Yeah, I mean, it was I was what, like 8 or something? I don't remember. So it's growing up, you don't know crap as like a kid, right? You're just pressing buttons, and then I think really when I started to really get into like learning combos and stuff was Marvel's Capcom 2 on actually the 360 when they released it. as an arcade game. And I had a friend who owned it, I guess, for his Dreamcast like a long time ago, so he already had prior knowledge. And oh my god, I have never gotten beaten so much in my life. I remember one time we played like 50 matches. I only won one game, and I wanted to keep playing him. And he was like, Justin, I gotta go to sleep. I'm like, all right, come back for more tomorrow. I'm not done with you.
That's crazy. What team did you play in Marvel 2?
I used Cammy, Magneto, and Psylocke. So two super top tier. But I love Cammy. I love Cam.
That team isn't horrible. It could be way worse.
Cammy's like pretty high tier, even though but you know, it's the top 5 characters or whatever that dominate. But if you ignore, you know, Sentinel, Magneto, Cable,
like the
Storm,
obvious high tiers,
then Cammy's actually pretty good. I think she's pretty solid.
Yeah, but don't ask me about my Marvel 2 team. It was actually cringe. It was what was my team? Spider-Man, Strider, Akuma. So
okay.
I'm just a bad person, so I played Team Scrub, but
you played Team Scrub?
I did, but now I've evolved. So Team Scrub
is.
is Cable, Sentinel, Cap. I played that for a while.
Okay.
But now I've ascended. I actually just play I play 2 Sentinels now. I play Dalsum, Sentinel.
Oh my god.
And Cable. You want to talk about a team that is just dumb. Dalsum is wild. Oh my god. You want to talk about movement? The tri-jumps? I'm so bad at him, but he's so much fun.
Yeah. We had we were talking to Lucky D. We went up to Boston. And it's funny that you mentioned that. We were talking about Dalsum and Marvel 2. Like randomly. One of the Dalsum lords in Street Fighter 4. Shout out to Lucky D. So you started with Marvel 2, and then it kind of led you to, like, did you play Marvel 3 at all?
Yes, I played a lot of it. Yeah, I played the original that was broken, and then they re-released it, or updated it, and it came out
even more broken.
You know, I still loved it.
It was twice as broken. It was as broken as Marvel Vanilla Marvel.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and now you're this.
Yeah, Dragon Ball. That's because it's similar to Marvel. You know, with the speed and the cis characters. Actually, it was weird like trying to get into it because in Marvel, or I should say more in Dragon Ball, you start with the 2M, the starter, the down M starter, and then you go into standing M. I'm like, how do I even combo in this game when I first started? Because in Marvel, it has the launchers, right? I'm like, how do I launch people up into the air? How does it even work? So for the longest time, I was just trying to figure out the game. It's kind of funny. You can go back and think about like even your first, like my first team in that game was 18, Team Gohan and Gotenks. So yeah, but I didn't know what I was doing. You know, that would have been
such a wild team on launch. Right? Oh my god,
that's like to think about now. Like Team Gohan and Gotenks like together isn't as horrible as we thought on launch, right? Like you see, like. You know, one thing I've noticed, Jay, is like a lot of the launch teams that we've talked about with all of our guests have been really either everybody's kind of stayed consistent, or like they went totally left field.
I mean, I think part of it is like for a lot of people with Dragon Ball, like the way the characters are designed, you very quickly get drawn to a certain character just like with their design, right? And once you find that core character who's kind of like your guiding thing, if you love that character enough, you'll drop other characters to make that character work. Or you'll have the realization your character's ass, and then you'll drop them. You'll be really sad about it, and you'll pick a top tier and wipe your tears away with your prize money. Right? Like there's two timelines for players in this game.
So for those who might not know you, Mozo, can I tell the people at home your current team in Dragon Ball FighterZ?
Right now, I am running Vegito, point, Kid Buu, mid, and Yamcha anchor.
Really?
With the summer colors. Gotta be that summer blue.
You gotta be the summer. Really? But the summer colors are almost done, bruh.
You can. It's okay. The spirit of summer can live on through.
It's okay. Through. Yeah. So what made you kind of like because I met you. Yeah. We met maybe like week 1, week 2 of the local.
Yeah. Which
when we brought it back.
Was that late February, early March?
It was actually early April.
Oh,
it was after my birthday. It was either early March, late March, early April.
Okay.
Right after the patch dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I heard your name. Like we didn't interact at all because that was the day I put the pot bonus up.
Yep. And I remember I went 2-1 against you.
Oh, yeah.
And I choked.
I remember that.
I choked in the second game or the third game, and because I had never so I used to go to locals for PM.
Yeah.
Right.
And Manchester, at GVS.
Right.
But I never. I mean, I like Smash, but I've never put the amount of time into it that I have for Marvel's Capcom or even Dragon Ball.
Right.
So this is my first tournament where I've really dedicated myself, and then to just go there and then play people like you who were way better than me at the time. I was like, man, I got so much work to do, and just kind of the nerves. So the nerves, just I've really I think that's also part of it. Just kind of I haven't been getting nervous as much, and just kind of each step that I've gone from each tournament. Starting off with the locals and then DTN, and then I was pretty nervous at Summit, but I've definitely been able to keep it in control, and just trying to figure out what works best for me.
I'm actually looking up right now that bracket that we had for the very first local. For backstory, so Great Valley Smash is one of our locals here in in Connecticut, now located in South Windsor. They have they brought back Dragon Ball locals actually every Tuesday. At the beginning of the patch, which was around March, right after final round, around that time, I hit them up. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna drop a pot bonus." People show up. I tagged 1,000,001 people, and 24 people showed up. Mozo was one of them. And I kind of think the rest is history from there. And kind of going back to what you mentioned before about your nerves, I think that's the one thing that I've seen. If you go back and watch Mozo footage from May to Mozo footage now, it's a complete 180.
Yeah.
It's almost complete 180. So your original team, and I think that we had to talk about this. So your original team had Gohan on it.
Yeah, as the anchor instead of Yamcha.
Was there any reason? Okay, because I told you, I think we talked about this one time. Was this because that you just liked the team like that?
It was kind of it was kind of a remnant of an older team that I had. I basically copied Goichi's Season 1 team. Well, I don't forgot who his mid was, but it was the Gohan with the Vegeta anchor, when Vegeta's assist was broken.
When it jailed.
Yeah, when it jailed. Oh, great times, Anyway, not really, but I abused it, right? And so I still love it, though, Gohan. I think it's a lot of fun, and so, but when Vegito came out, I was like, oh, I've always loved Vegito. I think he's one of the coolest characters.
Right.
And so I was like, I definitely gotta play Vegito. And somewhere in there, I started playing Kid Buu. I don't remember where, but before Vegito, I started playing Kid Buu. And so it kind of melded from older teams, and Gohan was put as the anchor. Because I always liked him. And it was double supers. So I could, I could abuse the double supers with
get the levels, yeah.
Yeah, the levels, yep. Yeah, exactly. So that was still part of it. Yep.
It's like a Phoenix kind of effect, going back to the Marvel reference. It's you're making level 7 Gohan that Phoenix X character, where it's I'm gonna make this dude powered up. And then I think it was a couple weeks, and we were talking about I think I pulled you aside or whatever.
Yeah, you did.
And I was like, hey, you can play Yamcha.
True.
And then I think the story goes, I think I hit you up one day. You come to my house. Now, I think some people in the chat know this. We literally sat down, played 88 games straight.
It was a lot of games.
No breaks. No pee breaks. No, we stretched once.
I think so, yeah.
We stretched once.
Maybe a halfway point or something, but
I think it was a stream too.
So you guys just ran sets.
We ran sets. This was back when I was I think it was this was back when I was in more of my prime. So weird.
Your prime old man FloKey out here.
Really, old man FloKey?
What is this? Is this where they send you to the farm upstate, FloKey? Is this like the young bloods coming in?
I'm on my Kenshin grind, bro. I'm just a not wanderer now, dog.
Oh my god.
But no, yeah. So we played 88 games. I think then I saw like you getting used to Yamcha.
Yeah.
Before, I think the challenge was trying to figure out how does Yamcha kind of intermingle with Vegito and Kid-Buu, because there is players such as Childish Vegito.
Yep.
Which, by the way, shouts to the guy. He's a legend. He actually, this is a really funny story.
Will he change his name to Childish Gogeta?
Probably not. I think he's just going to go as Childish.
I know Vegito's gone. I know the second that character drops, he's gone.
I think he's already gone.
No, I know he's already gone. He's playing like Bardock, SSJ,
something. I saw him playing.
He's playing Bombabon team.
Yeah, I know Vegito is already gone, but I think if he picks up Gogeta, then the transformation is truly complete, right? It's over at that point.
Makes me sad.
No, yeah, I think that was, and like we talked, and I think he's one of your few inspirations. Who other inspirations did you have for Vegito?
Well, originally, I loved watching Kaimart because of his Vegito, but I think really he's really been more of a Teen Gohan player.
Right.
As you can see, he's still kept from his match. He still keeps Teen Gohan, but I would watch a lot of Kaimart and watch his neutral. And Childish Vegito has a lot of tech, so I've watched him a lot. And then Subatomic Sayers is amazing.
Yes,
he's awesome. So I know he did well in Mexico for Thunderstruck.
Yeah, he top aided.
Yeah, he got the top 8.
Yep. So I watch any Vegito I can, even some of the Mexican ones. I'm like, what are they doing? I try to see what's good, what works. And I think one of my favorite things that I've learned more recently is what Sub does. Vegito doesn't get very good Oki off his level 3 mid screen.
Right.
So what Sub does, he dashes up and like super jumps, and then he uses the sword because the sword has such a long hitbox. Mm-hmm. It catches I don't know why, but it really catches people all the time with the sword when they're staying on the bottom. So like people like mash or try to jump back, and it catches it. So. And it works. He said it works, and it really does. And I love doing it.
It's a one of those weird, like, it's like you gotta appreciate it. And then you gotta also talk about Coach Steve. He's kind of
of course. I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry, Coach Steve.
Steven. He posted. Dude, he did a quick side note. This dude did some Bardock thing.
With the gut punch. Yeah.
He did that, and then he did the fucking the bounce combo.
Oh, I don't think I saw.
I clipped that in his stream today, and I'm just over here like Bardock things. But we're not here to talk about Bardock. We're not here about talk about Coach Steve. We're talking here to talk about Mozo. And we can kind of go back and forth on this. Did you travel at all for season 1? CT?
No. The local was my very first time doing anything competitively for Dragon Ball. Yeah,
that's huge.
So I've been doing tournaments for 5 months now. Yeah.
That's it. Like literally just 5 months for competing in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, competing in Dragon Ball.
Wow, that is.
So I've
making it happen. Let's go.
Thanks you.
That's actually so. Because, like, you had that Marvel background, so I was like, okay.
Yes.
This dude had to be, like, going to tournaments for something. That's
never.
Nuts.
The only tournaments I ever went to was for PM. I never did Marvel. Yeah. And it's funny, now that I've been going to tournaments for Dragon Ball, I kind of think back and be like, I thought I was going to Marvel, but I bet I sucked. I bet I used to think I was nice. I used to think I was nice because I'd beat up on my friends, but, like, man. I think I really sucked.
That's the classic, though, right?
Yeah.
I remember at the start of Dragon Ball, all of my friends bought the game. And I remember I was actually one of the last people to buy the game in my friend group. And I came in, and I was getting bodied. And I was like, oh, my God, these guys are so good. I don't know. And I, like, went online. I remember getting to 300K online. And I'm like, I'm pretty good at this game. I'm, like, kind of nice right now, right?
I'm nice.
Right, and I came back. I started beating, like, most of them. And then I went to my first local and got annihilated. And I was like,
of course.
Oh, I guess online really didn't mean much, right? And then I went to my locals. I got to the point where I could win games, and I went back and played my friends, and they weren't taking characters, and nobody wanted to play anymore. And I'm sitting here like, this is such a vicious cycle. What is this, right? Like,
that's crazy.
I finally got to the point where I could beat people, and they just stopped playing, and it was just like, boys.
That's like the problem that I have a lot of fighting games, but that's kind of like where it kind of comes down to like how hungry are you for it, and I think Mozo is a really good example of that. Kind of like coming out to any time when I summon people to the house, and then kind of leading until DTN, and then the announcement of Wrath of the Mix. When you saw that announcement, what was your first impression? Did you want to qualify?
I was like, I gotta be there. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, I gotta get there so I can play all these good people. I gotta get better.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get the experience of playing. That's what I like. I like getting the experience of playing different people and just trying to level up. And so when I saw that, I was like, I have to get there.
Yeah, because I was like, so one thing that I could kind of like, I saw in that, like when I put the invite list together, was like one name that like popped in and out, like out of my mind was you, because I was like, okay, like what is this dude doing? Like is this like? Because I know like because this was in like midpoint where like I don't know if Mozo's like mentally like if he's still like struggling, like if he's still in that rut. Because everybody gets in that rut. It's like you literally sit there, you're like, oh, I make one mistake, and then like it spirals, and like can he not spiral? And then you proved that during the summit, and then even before that, I still reference this match. Go watch August 6th match with Gok and Mozo. If you want to see current Mozo prior to Summit, that match was, oh god, game 1 and 2 is still like the best. Game 3 was a complete wash.
Talk us through it, Flo. We haven't seen the match. Talk us through it.
Okay. So game 1. So mind you, just kind of backstory. Gok and Mozo have been like kind of the two, along with Kite, have been the 3 people that have been kind of going to the locals the most out of all of us.
Okay.
Since I had all the problems with my car and everything, they kind of still held it down for me, and they still do, which I really do appreciate. So they play all the time. Gok and Mozo play all the time. So you guys are basically training partners at this point, right?
Yeah. I have lots of training partners, but yeah, Gok and I, we are definitely.
Oh, you got hoes now? You got that many training partners?
I play with a lot of people. I told you, got to get the different matchups, and different fighting styles.
So they play in the set, and game 1's really close, but Mozo like edges it out. Game 2, Gok edges it out.
True.
Mozo gets up. Mind you, I already have Naruto ran around the venue like once.
I need a breather.
And then I was like, oh my fucking god. So then I think it was like Gian and Bean on the mic, and then it was me and Kite ran over. We literally was sitting there hyping up the match the entire time.
Can I say something? This entire time, Gok is just stoic. He doesn't make any emotions whatsoever. I'm like freaking out, and I'm trying to get my breath under control, and he's just sitting there, just waiting for the next match. I'm like, oh my god, how are you this calm? And he's just ready. His eyes were just staring at the screen the whole entire time.
Blood running. That's ice. Ice in the veins, right? Like that's what that is.
Ice in the veins.
That's 100% ice in the veins. Now, prior to this too, you guys did travel with me up to Balance Bash for match.
Yes, that was a good experience as well. I forgot.
And like I coached everybody in CT that day. Like I didn't enter my own qualifier, but I made sure I coached everybody. The night before I got top 2 against Pumper Jam, which is I think is still my favorite set I've ever played in Dragon Ball. Side note, these motherfuckers left me. You want to hear some bullshit, Jay? I'm sorry.
I don't remember this.
So, you know what? Talk to me, Flo.
Oh no.
So I was in grand finals.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
First set, I was down 2-0. They go get food. And then I run it I reset the bracket, and then go another 3-2 against Pumper Jam. I did unfortunately lose.
I'm a horrible friend.
And then on the way to Lucky D's house, I was just ripping them. Yeah, I'm like, y'all, listen.
Look, they were hungry, man.
I was hungry.
Look,
too much banana.
I'm a commentator. I love Dragon Ball. I'll let you know right now, despite no matter how hype I am, no matter how much I seem like I'm in the moment, in the back of my head, when I hear bracket reset, I'm dying. Okay? And that goes doubly for spectators. We all know it's true. We all know we have that moment when the bracket gets reset, even if it's your boy and you're like, oh my God, we gotta sit here for like another 2 hours. It's already like midnight, and you're like, please let me go home, right?
But the crazy thing is that we would like the balance. By the way, shout out to Balance Patch. Their food over there is like top tier.
Really,
it is good.
It's
yeah, it's
so good over in Mass. If you're ever up in the area, in downtown Boston, and it was amazing. No, but yeah, I definitely seeing your progress, between that and going into the Summit qualifier. I think, and I did player profiles on all of you guys.
Yeah.
Which are all on the blog. And one thing I want to kind of bring up as a quote is, it's also nice to be rewarded with this opportunity because how much I've worked and been trying to put into becoming a better player overall. And I think that kind of just like really just nails home the facts that you've been kind of bringing to us so far.
Yeah.
Is that you've been really on the grind. Like, I remember you lost a heartbreaker one day and you went back to the lab. Like, you found the open setup and you were just sitting there.
Who did I lose to? Was it Gok that day? It might have been Gok. That.
It was either Gok. It was probably either Gok or Dark. It was either Gok or Dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I just remember, that like moment I was on commentary and I was like, me and Bean were like, dude, this man literally, went back, like checked himself and just went through it. So we have to talk Wrath the Mix a bit.
Of course.
Because you qualified. You were the last chance qualifier for CT.
This man actually pulled a Fenrich out here. He actually got in at the LCQ and was like, I might as well try to win the whole tournament while I'm here, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm actually pretty close. I mean, third place is another. Actually, I
was very happy with third place.
I actually want to hear Mozo talk about his tournament run.
Yeah,
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear from your perspective. Talk to me about this tournament run. After this LCQ, barely make it in.
Which is a month after. Which was like a complete month after.
I know it's supposed to be earlier, and I know you felt guilty about having to move it back, but I'm actually kind of glad I got moved back because I was able to, get even more grinding. I think over that month, just playing, I played a lot with Javi, and Gok, and Nate, and Kite, and then of course my friend Nelly, but I've been going to UConn a lot and just grinding with Javi, and even Juani.
They're all really strong.
Yeah, they're all really strong, and I think my neutral really got a lot better just from that month alone, just from playing them, because just having a different mindset, like Javi's neutral can be ridiculous, and I think just observing how he plays neutral and trying to apply it to my own really helps me. But anyway, back to the Wrath of the Mix, right?
I am gonna post the bracket in chat for those who may not have seen the bracket and how it unfolded. So talk to us. Talk to us about it.
I'll start before the official matches. I was getting a lot of casuals. So earlier, one of my first casuals, we got there. We were waiting for Dan to get there with the rest of the setups.
Right.
I played Akuma on the stream for a couple matches. I lost it 2-1, and I feel like I need a decent amount of warm up. Otherwise, my IDs get kind of crappy. My inputs aren't the greatest. So luckily, I was actually kind of happy. I ended up playing Pete the Monster, some casuals. Then I played Lucky D, 10 matches. Then I played Akuma for 10 matches. And then I think I played another person, but I got a lot of matches prior. And I think and I played Ice also for 10 matches. So I got 30 matches of casuals in before
I like it. So you were going in hot. You were warm.
My hands were warmed up and ready to go, and I was feeling it. I was doing really well. And so the first match was against Pumper Jam on stream, and I didn't that Majin Buu matchup. I do not. I'm not even. I do not know it at all.
Oh, did you not get a chance to study the matchup?
No. And so let's see. I think I lost the first game, won the second one, and then he won the third one. And the third one, I kind of got washed. I was almost getting perfected when he got to my Yamcha, and I took one character, but then he shut it down.
Yeah.
And so later I went to speak to him, and I was talking to him, I was like, man, talking to him about the matches, and he's like, you almost had me. I was like, yeah, but I really got washed that last game. And I was literally going over like what I thought I would do if I ever played him again.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I'll just snap out Boo, and he plays Yamcha too, right? Yeah, Yamcha. And I was like, I'll snap in Yamcha because I don't really like dealing with GT Goku that much, and I feel like my new strategy against GT Goku is to try to get rid of the easiest way to get his Spirit Bomb. Because with the Yamcha assist, obviously he doesn't have to spend the extra meter, but if you're spending the extra meter, I mean, you can't get Spirit Bomb as much.
True.
Right. And so that's kind of the mindset I've been dealing with the GT, just kind of neuter him. And especially with the Majin Buu there, I wanted to snap him out, not even wanted to deal with him until later. Because I really didn't know the matchup. And so my first losers match was against, I think it was Ice.
Actually, I have the bracket pulled up.
Yeah, okay.
Your first losers match was actually against Ice.
Yep, and so
you had me on match experience with
that. I did, especially after playing. I got pretty lucky with the people I played casuals with, so we'll go through that. So like I said, I played like 10 matches at least with Ice, and then I ended up 2-0ing him in that one. And he's a really good player, and so the fact that I 2-0'd him was like, oh, I just know that I'm feeling it,
Yeah.
And I can. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Like I literally saw on your face, like, because everybody was reporting to me Jay. When I tell you, this dude was the happiest man I've ever seen.
Was he just
when everybody was popping off on each other? This dude was just smiling ear to ear like you're seeing right now.
And the biggest grin, right?
This dude has the biggest grin on his face. So you beat Mozo, you beat Ice, which who was one of my invites actually. So that was really one that I was very surprised at, but also not because he got beat 3-1 against Pete the Monster, in the exhibition that he had to perform. And then just as a quick spoiler, if you guys have not watched it, it's been about 2 weeks now. We did do the 8v8 CT 1x1.
Yeah, I actually lost to Pete the Monster in that. I was so upset. I lost to Frieza.
Yeah. Was there? Oh, but by the way, side note, was there any matches, exhibition wise, you were surprised went the way they did? Because you were there.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. Not that I can think of the top of my head. I mean, I guess Kite went. Was it 3-2 for Kite over?
Kite went 3-zip.
Oh, 3-zip. That's right. That was surprising.
That was a match.
Did you watch that back, Jay?
I thought it was gonna be close, but
yeah. Did you have a chance to watch that yet?
Yeah, I got to see how it ended.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, it is what it is.
I wanted to give you the biggest virtual hug. So let's keep going with this bracket. Top 8 qualifier. You had to play against Dan Cravat.
Yep. And I played
of the Buller Gang.
The Buller Gang.
Yeah, which he unfortunately had a random mishap. So we were like running through bracket really fast. We can't he was, which makes sense. He was cool to play the match. I told him straight up, like, if you need a couple minutes, just let me know. Like, whatever.
I remember.
But how'd you feel? Because we don't have any coolers up here. So
no.
How'd you feel about that matchup?
I played him at BP, and I don't know. I know he's a good player, but I'm not that scared of cooler. Does that make sense? Like,
no, it makes sense. Yeah.
I know he's a very good player, but I feel like maybe Vegito just does really well against cooler. Maybe that's what it is, because I feel like I was able to win neutral against his cooler a lot, and so I have some minimal. I have more knowledge against cooler than I did Majin. So I know a little bit of his stuff. Like with Boo, the first time I played Pumper Jam, he was throwing out the fat, and I super dashed it, and I didn't know it beat super dash. I was like, well, now I know. So for Cooler, I mean, it's kind of like his block strings, but I was able to get the Cooler out of the way, and then the rest, who else is on his team? I forgot. It's Cooler.
He's got Bardock and Gogeta.
Bardock. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So the other ones are, very common knowledge. And I think Vegito actually does well against Bardock too, except when he's getting fuzzied. But
yeah, that's another story for another day, right? It's just like everybody's like getting fuzzied nowadays.
And then, yeah, I know.
That's a big. We actually had a 7 on last week, which if you guys have not seen the VOD of that,
you definitely should check it out.
You should. Like, he gives a really good perspective on playing 2 big bodies on a team and like what that can pertain to.
I also think he dispelled some of the myths around fuzzying, which I think
he did.
Which I think is really, really important. For those of you that didn't get a chance, the Cliff Notes version is, if you're getting fuzzy looped, it's not because your characters can be fuzzied. It's because you're worse than your opponent.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, if you never lose neutral, you're not going to get fuzzied.
Right.
Ooh, bars.
It's true. But it's also like, if your opponent correctly guesses every single time they snap you in, you're also just you're not holding up defensively. Yeah. And you had to make, and it's like you said, you had to make mistakes to even get in that position, right?
True. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you have to most
of the time.
You have to overcommit. So, but yeah, no, that match was honestly that match was I think that was your freest match. I think at that point, like that match was like having that on stream, like watching that, like that was kind of
that was 2-0, and then it's funny because like I said, I played Dan at BP. And I think we're going like back and forth. It was pretty even.
That's good.
When I played at BP, and then after I beat him at Summit, he said to me, he was like, "Bro, you got like so much better so fast." I was like, "Oh, thank you." I mean, that meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
Right.
And just to hear that from somebody else, and especially because I know, I don't remember exactly what happened in the match previously, but it was rough. Trying to remember what happened. It was a really close match, and he barely lost. It was off some silly stuff, Dragon Ball stuff.
Dragon Ball things.
Dragon Ball things.
So just hearing that from him, it was nice to hear that from him. Get some recognition from him to say that.
Definitely.
And then after that was Volcanic Akuma, right?
Yeah, this is when you were basically on the hot seat. Like, this dude loses round 1 and then he makes it in the top 8. So first match is against Volcanic Akuma. Now you guys played in bracket at BP prior.
Yes.
And Volcanic beat you that time.
2-0, and that's when he was using his 18 and 16 Bardock. Yep. So I had.
What was the change on this? No, yeah. So what was the trick? Because I know you guys played prior in casuals.
Yes, a lot.
What was your game plan going into that match? Because Volcanic Akuma, listen. There's a reason why it's Volcanic Akuma 55 straight out of Xbox Live. This dude is an actual... like, this dude came up to me separately because I beat him at BP because of a pause. Because I accidentally paused the whole story. And he's like, yo, I want to play you. And I'm like... Because this dude's one of the hungriest players like I've ever met. But yeah, no. Talk to us about that match. Because that match was... I think that preluded the rest of your run in top 8.
Yeah. So, I guess when I played him a lot, I felt like I needed to play even more neutral because I think him and I are both very aggressive players, and I feel like he might be more aggressive than me, which I could use as a fault, to him, and I could punish him for his over aggressiveness. And I think that's how I tried to go into it, and especially from all the casuals we played. And I noticed when I was being more patient with him, and I was looking for super dashes and really trying to lock him down. And he didn't have much of an answer for it. In the second game, he really started to super dash a lot, and I wasn't punishing him for it that much, which I was upset with myself. But towards the end, I started to punish it even more. So patience and just making sure my block strings are solid because he will mash out of it. Or reflect it.
So you need did you find you needed to lean more into frame traps, or did you need to just keep your strings tight? Which did you find was more effective?
I think keep my strings tight, really. Because I know I can get a little bit lazy with Vegito.
Right.
Actually, my Kid Buu, I felt like my Kid Buu was pretty stale that tournament.
Compared to the rest of your characters, I feel like your Yamcha and your Vegito, I think that shell.
Yeah.
If there's one thing you take for the rest of the season, I think if that shell is like your thing.
Yeah. So I think the Kid Buu was a little stale. It did help me, Kid Buu's Unga Bunga, and he just mashes, right? So it's easy to get stuff, and you can just get free mix-ups with him. So he definitely did help me at times, but I definitely felt like he was my weak character at the tournament, at the summit. So.
But yeah, no. So I need to talk about this. Oh my god. So you beat Volcanic Akuma.
Yes.
And the most littlest of pop-offs happened. You guys probably couldn't hear on stream. This dude said, "I want you." Points at Pump. Pump sits down.
I knew, because I knew he was next if I beat Volcanic Akuma.
Oh.
And I said come here with my finger. I pointed towards him and I pulled him in. Yeah, I did. I was like, come here.
Let's go.
Yeah. And then people started putting side bets. So I was like, everyone's crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen somebody so afraid to get side. Jay, that was there was more money on the line for that match than Matcherino bucks.
Really?
For the whole tournament, yeah.
I just didn't want people betting on me.
But
yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about that because you did play in round 1.
Yes.
What was the readjustment you made?
Like I told him that I was going to do, I snapped out the Majin Buu and I went for the Yamcha. And I wanted to, since I didn't know the Buu matchup at all, I wanted to get rid of him and neuter him and make sure he was the last character I had to deal with to limit his options, And so I went for the Yamcha first, tried to get rid of him, and then worked my way with GT, and then onto the Fat Buu, and tried to hold on to dear life and figure out something, and try to understand him a little bit more, and figure out the openings and whatnot. Kite actually helped me. I punished him in the first rounds for this. The first match is when I lost to him 2-1. Kite told me that when he does the cartwheel into the JH and he puts out his long arm, you can actually 2H that because it's part of his hitbox. Yeah, and that's super fake.
I think I said something during for coaching. So there was money up. This is just general rule of thumb. If there's money up, don't coach. I already know Sage versus Giga is not gonna have any coach, to my knowledge. Are y'all gonna do coaching? Is there coaching confirmed?
If there's so if there is going to be coaching, it's going to be I'm gonna go Evo rules. Okay. Which would be you have to designate your coach before the set. That way you can't just have 8 different dudes coming up, right? You're gonna you'd say this guy is gonna be we're not gonna call him a coach, we're gonna call him your corner man because this is beef, right? Corner man, you get your corner man, and you are allowed 30 seconds, and at first to 10, you're allowed to call 3. You get 30 seconds of coaching with it in a first to 10.
Yeah, because I know
they're doing a first to 10.
Yeah, for $300.
Yeah, I know it's a 300. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah, but no, I just wanted to address that because I know a lot of people kind of get a lot of TOs and different opinions can kind of flash. I think my opinion, that match was, I think that was the match of Summit, in my opinion. Because there was a lot of, you can tell there's a lot of tension in the air.
Yeah.
The minute that you guys started playing. So, I was just like, bro, just let them play. No coaching. Let these guys figure it out in match. But you clutched it out.
I did. Yeah, it was 2-1 again. Oh, except flipped. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Pump's definitely the measuring stick. I did accredit him to, and I've said this to him, and I've gone on record and said Pumper Jam has made me play the best Dragon Ball I've played in 2019.
Really?
He's one of those players that will take me to the brink and really show me what I need to work. And I'm not trying to shoot shots at anybody. That's just genuine facts. Kind of when you talk about picking and choosing your partners. There's only a handful of people, and I think like Pumper Jam's one of those few players that like I can look to and be like, hey, like his old school background is like one thing that like, I really respect. But enough about me. You had to play the Ginyu. You had to play Asian Tom.
I did.
Asian Tom had a free just to kind of put it in perspective. Dark had unfortunately DQ himself out of top 8.
Oof.
So Asian Tom had so Ginyu was in top 4.
Hey, let's go Ginyu.
How do you
feel, just to kind of put it in perspective, this was top 4. We had 1 GT, 1 Bardock, 1 Vegito, Nappa, Ginyu, Base Cheetah, Yamcha, Kid Buu, Piccolo. There was no repeats in all 4 teams. And I think that is like a huge thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like something really. How do you feel about that, Jay? Like,
I mean, that's what you want to see, though, right? You want to see tournaments where you have like a diverse showing, especially in top 8, right? You get to that point in the tournament, you like. It's one thing if like you go to a tournament, it's like, oh, there's almost every other person at the pool's level is playing GT Goku. That's kind of whatever, right? People are gonna pick the top tiers. You expect that. What you don't want to see is top 8 with all the same character, right? That's the point at which you're like, oh, God, really? Another Dr. Doom. More hidden missiles, right? Like, that's the kind of thing where it gets a little taxing.
Oh, God.
Just as a note, too, Kite did bring out 21, by the way. Just so you guys know.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
But yeah, go back on your thought, Jay. Sorry, I mentioned that.
Whereas, for me, my litmus test for whether or not a game is balanced is top 32 and up. Right? Because that's the point at which you're looking at players who are probably at like majors and stuff. Those are the people who are at least like regional level talent to national to world class, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you see all those players playing the same thing, now you know something's probably a little busted. So in an event like this, having that character diversity in top 8 means you have a healthy local metagame.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. Because at the local level, like, look, if I go to a major, I'm prepared to fight through umpteen million Bardock SSJ shells. All right? I'm ready for that. At my local, I don't want to fight that every damn game, right? I really don't. I want a moment to breathe, to play some interesting characters, but I want to see those characters played at a high level. And that's what I thought was beautiful about Summit, is you had a lot of representation of characters like Majin Buu, who Majin Buu is the least played character in the game.
Less than Krillin?
Yes. Majin Buu is the least popular character, least played in all of Dragon Ball.
That's amazing.
The second least played character is Ginyu.
That's huge.
So the fact you had both a Majin Buu and a Ginyu in top 8, that's beautiful. Like, that's something that I, as a commentator, I love, because you get to see these unique characters that don't get a lot of limelight, right?
Like, Brad and me had a field day during top 8.
Yeah.
And Bean as well. Like, we had a field day enjoying that. But yeah, no. So you had Asian Tom. Was that the first time you guys played?
Yes, I've never played Asian Tom, but I never. Yeah, no casuals. That never in Boston. So that was the first time I ever met him, actually.
Yeah. So, how did you feel about the Ginyu matchup?
I have, again, minimal knowledge about the Ginyu stuff. Javi was dabbling in it. I have another friend that tried Ginyu, so I understand his block strings a little bit.
Yeah.
And how his assists work.
Yeah.
So I don't even. You can see it in my match. I didn't even dare go near the red comet.
You did not.
When he summoned it, I literally went to the other side of the screen and I would wait it out, because I'm not trying to mess with that thing, because it blocks the whole entire screen. You can't see anything.
The seizure procedure, baby.
Yeah, seizure procedure.
What's this?
Stop. Look, as a Ginyu player.
Listen, I've heard the bug zapper.
Bruh,
the seizure procedure.
You just gotta work with me, dog. I literally have nicknames for like a lot of the moves in the game. Like, it's just the way that it be. But like, no, I mean, that's the thing. The actual name is Purple Comet, so I'll use that. But
what did I say? I forgot. I said Red Comet. Sorry.
Yeah, the Purple Comet, because it's a fusion of the red and blue from Murder and Jace.
Yes.
Yeah. But the best, honestly, what you did was like, it's not the best option, but it's definitely better than some of the other ones. Usually, your options, if you want to fight it, are 1, Super Dash, 2, back up Super Jump. because you could actually get just over top of it.
Yeah,
now that's
that
if they jump up and call it in the air, you can't super jump over it because it actually has a fixed height above where Ginyu calls it.
Okay.
Interesting.
But if Ginyu calls it grounded, you can actually super jump up backwards, and depending on how it moves, you can get just over top of it. But Super Dash is pretty good. You have a lot of different options, but like just backing up and not dealing with it, because the other thing you get scared about, right, is they can do stuff like run up, jab you, cross up in the middle of the comet, and now you're like not even facing the right way. You can't even follow Ginyu because she's like all the like pellets are exploding. Or they just run up DR you right before it's about to hit you.
Yeah.
It's just like it's too much mix. You do not want to stand there like Ginyu do that to you. So I respect that choice.
Yeah. And it's not even mentioning the whole Goldo, the various Goldo situations. Like
you hate now. If there's one man who hates Goldo, it's FloKey. FloKey can't stand Goldo. Yeah, exactly. I know how you feel about Goldo.
I think Goldo is a very like. I think more like because I'm used to like Birder, Raccoon, because I feel like I'm more comfortable with those two. Like Goldo just comes out at random points, and kind of just does his thing. But you beat Asian Tom.
That's big.
Yes.
Solidify top 3. Now you play Kite a lot.
I do.
Kite was. I'm gonna be honest. Kite was the favorite going into this tournament. I think nobody. We did fantasy brackets. No one had you in top 3.
I wouldn't expect them to, so I don't blame them.
Smash the bracket.
So what was your mindset going into the set against Kite? Because you guys play so often.
Oh shit! Here we go again. To be honest, it's just I was really disappointed with my results. Because we play so much, I really should have changed my play style, and I don't think I adapted quick enough. And he knows how I play, and I know how he plays. But he took advantage of how I play way more than I did. Yes, right. And so he just kept reading me, and I was being really impatient on defense.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of steamrolled, and I didn't even get a win against him. I was pretty upset myself.
Right.
Because I was really happy I made it that far, and I was really happy with how I did. But to go 0-3 in losers finals, I was kind of disappointed. And I'm still mad at Kite that he lost to Hypnotic, because I was hoping I could play Hypnotic, and because he doesn't know me, right? I've never played Hypnotic, and I was hoping to.
That was such a dream match. Like, it's one of those things. I think, and then for those who don't know, spoilers: Mass did win Summit. But I think the thing is to kind of take away from it is, again, like what I mentioned before, like I still remember you coming to my house playing those 88 games.
Yeah.
And that day, I think I told you I saw potential. I was like, this dude has something. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. But I know, like, I saw the same spark in Kite. I saw the same spark in you, same spark in Cock, everybody in season. What's kind of cool is, like, I've seen all of you guys grow.
Yeah.
Individually. So, like, doing Summit for you guys was kind of like, I can kind of see everybody play at their best.
Yep.
Or their worst. And, Summit was a beautiful thing. If you guys have not checked out any of the matches that we talked about, please check them out. Again, an incredible run. I think that was one of the stories I think I texted Jay like right after it. I was like, I want this dude on the podcast because this dude's run was.
No, it was literally almost after Summit was over. He was like, "Hey, I have a guest lined up. I want him on," and I was like, "All right, FloKey, you're half the voice here. I'll let you do it, man."
Like, I was like, because it was one of those things. Like, I remember, like, you were kind of like asking me a lot, and like, it was crazy too. Like, just seeing everybody's growth, and like, I really do like see like, even though like I haven't been around a lot, and I need to get my ass back in gear. I think it was funny. I think you and me texted recently, and you were like, "Hey, we want you back."
Yeah, I was like, "Get your butt back here."
Yeah, FloKey, when are you gonna get back to fighting shape here? Come on now. I can't tell you to call out HOC if you're not in shape, dude.
I mean, There is a fusion character coming out next week.
Yeah.
Oof.
He might make me switch my team entirely.
Interesting. Are you going to just run 2 teams? Is that
It's probably my team. It's probably my plan. But do you guys want to talk Gogeta, the other fusion, for a bit?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So Gogeta gets announced, or we get gameplay footage. I wake up to this. So mind you, I was on my cleanse. So I re-download Discord just to kind of ease myself back in. I see a video, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then it's like 20 minutes of Gogeta. I was like,
godlike.
I've never had
his after image is dope. I just want to start there. Like, that is like literally everything Krillin ever wanted. It was just given to a completely different character. I think if they literally just gave Krillin that, his viability would actually increase, like, notably. Could you imagine Krillin if he could throw a rock from 3 different directions?
No,
I mean, come on. That's the mix, right?
No. A super dashable rock.
Super dashable rock. But I think the one thing we kind of can start on, I think the way Arceus is kind of like tackling all these characters now, they kind of see the litmus test in GT. Because clearly Jiren and Videl haven't really done much.
Yeah, kind of.
Videl was supposed to do something, like, and then just
she didn't.
And Jiren has seen more play, but Jiren is still very rarely seen.
I remember the beginning of the when we first started the podcast, we talked about that the most.
I do remember this
because we literally thought those 2 characters were thing. Now with Gogeta, what was your guys? Look, I'll throw it to both of you guys. What was your first impressions of the character? And before we get into more breakdowns, will you be playing him when he releases?
You want to go first, Jay?
Yeah, go ahead. Hit it, man.
Hit it.
Oh, I'm going first? Okay.
Yeah, you. Okay. Yeah, you.
I like Gogeta. I like Vegito better, but I think Gogeta's really cool. And he just looks like he's got some serious mix. Just everything he can do. And he has a true 2L, obviously top 5. I'm kidding. But he looks, it's day -10, right? It's 10 days away from being released, but he looks like he has the potential to be a very good character just from the gameplay we've seen. They don't really show the gameplay they show isn't great. It's not top-notch gameplay. They don't go like in depth, like, oh, this is his 5L or this is his 2L. They kind of do.
You have to grab all the stuff. You kind of
have to figure out yourself just from the random people they have playing. And then Kazunoko, and Kazunoko was there playing the Gogeta, but the other random person, they probably just picked it up and they have no clue what they're doing. But it would be nice to have a little bit more in depth. But so you kind of got to figure out what he has. Right. But he looks, like you said, the after image looks really cool. The Kamehameha from 3 different angles, and then if you can get the hit confirmed with the overhead kick thing, whatever that is. And then if those are, what is that? His J heavy, or it looks like he has 3 overheads.
That's his JM.
Oh, that's his JM.
That's his JM.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's
JM, not J heavy. Yep. Yeah. If that's actually 3 overheads, that's kind of crazy.
Because then he'll get the classic 2 overheads into low or 3 overheads.
It's just,
I want it.
But from what I heard, I did hear that apparently I think the system mechanics changed, so the third one could never be an overhead.
Oh, so is it like
it might? I think it automatically makes it a mid.
Okay,
it's one of those weird situations. Yeah.
I did see something about that on Twitter. I can't confirm the legitimacy of that because I don't think we currently have a character who has a triple overhead. Because Gotex's was removed.
Yes, that's what I was going to talk about. But he had 7 overheads, but
and that was one of the things. I think my prediction for Vegito, and Gogeta, and maybe this is a little bit too bold. I think that he is going to be near the top of A tier. I think he's going to be better than Janemba. I think he's actually going to be one of the most popular characters in the game. I don't think he's going to be top 5.
Yeah.
But you might see him. You're probably going to see him bottom of top 10. I think he's gonna be better than Broly.
That's so canon. It makes so much sense.
I think he's gonna be slightly better than Broly.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I think what he has is, it's weird because I think it's one of the first big buys we got with a just ridiculous amount of mix-up. He is sort of Janemba-esque in that he does have the low, which is important. Like, as much as it is a meme, because I do think people overrate having an
of course.
L, where they're like, oh, this character's unplayable. Trunks has no mix. Like, that's the classic line,
Super
right?
Saiyan Goku. Yeah, Super Saiyan Goku, but yeah.
Exactly. And then, meanwhile, you watch the best players in the world consistently get opened up by SSJ Goku, right? Like regularly. It's not even surprising.
Yeah.
But I think the character is going to be very good. His assist looks serviceable. I think it is probably slightly worse than Bardock's.
Probably.
It doesn't look quite as good as Bardock's, which is like, I actually think Bardock's a great middle of the road assist where it's not great. Right. It's not terrible. It's just serviceable. And I think his is going to be in a similar vein to that. Now, the question is, what team slot does he take?
So
who are you bumping off of your current teams for him? Now, obviously, if you're playing Vegito, you have found a new character. But besides those players, right?
Yeah.
Who are you dropping? Like, are you dropping Bardock for this character?
Probably not.
And like that's the point I come to, right?
It's a weird one. Yeah. I think I made the comparison. I was talking to Sage about this, or somebody. I made the comparison to Ginyu assist, actually. I actually thought about it.
I agree.
It was one of those things. I heard it also wall bounces.
Oh, I don't like that.
So it's one of those things. I feel like hot take Gogeta is gonna be in the same slot as Vegito, where he's a point character. I think that's gonna be his best position.
Are you telling me I can't run Gogeta and Vegito on the same team?
You can. It's possible, but I'm just saying. I know the way Gogeta is shaping up, because he has that adult. Like, he reminds me. It looks like, for me, and I kind of made this comparison to somebody. They put Piccolo 5H or Air 5H, Gohan, and Gotenks all together, and they're like, here's Gogeta. He's fuzzable, has a DP, has a potential triple overhead, has all these other crazy mix-ups, and like has all this utility.
They want people to play this character. That was what I got, right? It's like they want people to play.
I heard they took 7 months. Or I don't know if that's true or not.
Real quick, obviously we know literally nothing about him, but we've seen GT Goku, and we've seen Gogeta. What is Broly gonna look like, right? Because they're stacking these characters right now, right?
Yeah.
Watch Broly just be shit.
I'm not looking forward to the double Broly teams with armor on both of them.
Because they're gonna give Tiny Broly armor.
Of course they are.
He's gonna have armor.
I'm not looking forward
to it.
Imagine
if Tiny Broly wasn't fuzzyable and he had armor.
There's no way he can't be. He's monstrous.
They use the really meek Broly from like the very start of the movie.
Oh my god, he crouches over. He slouches.
Hey guys.
No, this is 2 weeks in a row that you made me get out of my chair. No.
I think it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with Broly.
Right.
Because the design space they're working with GT Goku and with Gogeta indicates to me they're done making simplistic characters.
They about to go in.
They're making characters who have a lot of tools, and I think they're going to force them to be viable. That's what I read, right? Because it's like with Bardock, like some of the early DLCs, it looks like they kind of played it safe for the most part. That's all out the window now. The safety wheels are gone, right? There's nothing left.
I think once GT Goku got announced and dropped, I think everybody's idea of what can they do for a DLC character kind of went out the window. The fact that you could do 3, like Spirit Bomb into level 3.
Oh god.
Or just Spirit Bomb into extra damage.
Or Spirit Bomb into Spirit Bomb. I literally watched that at Summer Jam. I literally watched Cisco do that to, I'd want to say it was Coach Steve. Literally it was Spirit Bomb into second Spirit Bomb. Because he still had an assist. And I was just like, what am I watching right now?
Did he actually combo into
Like,
it?
Yeah,
two
and
GT Goku Spirit Bombs or Goku normal?
No,
base Goku Spirit Bomb?
two GT Goku. It was literally like got the hit, throws him in, Genki Dama, hits him with the dash up, throws him into the corner, throws out the second assist, throws him back up into the air, second Genki Dama to kill him.
Oh my god.
That's some rude shit.
I have never seen it before, and I don't even think it was optimal, but it was the most disrespectful thing I'd ever seen, and it was amazing. I don't even know what else to say.
No, but yeah. I think Gogeta is looking like I think he has really interesting tools. I think his 5H is really interesting.
That looks like it's a grab, right?
Yeah, it looks like it, but it's actually a hit.
Is it a hit grab?
Yeah. Okay. So that and the Soul Punisher, the
Soul Punisher looks interesting.
The pulse move. One thing I need I want to know is what buttons are what supers are affiliated with his level 1s, because he has 2. Kind of like a Saiyan Spirit kind of a situation where it's like, is it super
for DHC?
Yeah, exactly. Well, DHC's Big Bang Kamehameha, like that's already confirmed. But I just need to know, like, that's just like a personal preference. That's just a preference thing. I just want to know. As well as what kind of confirms I can get off Rekka. Like, can I do beam into Rekka? Can I do 5H in the air into Rekka into soft knockdown, similar to Vegito, right? What can I do to make FloKey? What buttons I can use after reflect? That's cap. I actually did. I was playing My Fat Toy today. I barely reflected.
It's hilarious.
Jay, you really set me up for that.
I really did. It really does be like that.
Actually, if Reflect 5H is actually viable, Gogeta,
so I have a dumb question I'm gonna ask that is not related to the current topic. Okay, so obviously Krillin is almost universally considered to be the worst character in the game, right?
Yes.
Question. If they just gave Krillin Hidden Missile, made other changes to the character, would Krillin be viable?
He would still be trash. He would still be trash.
I would play him.
Yeah, okay. See, that's what I was wondering.
He's still gonna be trash.
I would try. I would definitely try. Except the hidden missiles are just rocks.
Yeah, no. Except like he could do it with rocks or whatever, right? Yeah. But it's literally just 1-to-1 hidden missile. It has an active hitbox on the way up, an active hitbox on the way down. It's non-super dashable.
I gotta try him. I would have to try him.
Because at that point, that would hands down be the best assist in the game, like bar none, right?
Probably.
Would you play him? But he's attached to Krillin, which also means you have Krillin on anchor, right? Like, or mid.
Or mid, yeah.
JDiesel.
Goodbye,
I'm gonna be honest. Listen.
This question's kept me literally. I don't know. This came to me around 11 o'clock last night, and I spent a good 40 minutes thinking about it because I was like,
was it almost as bad as you trying to give Broly 12K life?
No, that was brilliant, dude. Did you see? Wait, Mozo, did you see that?
Was that you?
I was the guy who made the variable health post.
Oh no, Jay. Oh no.
Look, they were rough numbers.
That's fair, and I understand that the game mechanics would have to be changed, very much so, because they can't allow people with 8,000 health to get TOD'd that easily, right?
I mean,
they would.
If it was just GT Goku and Kid Buu, I think most people would put up with it. I really do. Like
Krillin, unfortunately, Krillin would
Oh
probably
well, no. Those two characters, like I also put in the second half, like if you're a low tier, getting your health lowered, you get ridiculous buffs to compensate, right? Like that's right. Like let me put it. Like the idea would be you would make Videl like an absolute mix-up monster.
Yep.
And then Krillin, you would just give Hidden Missile. So like it would be like easy. Look, just put me in charge of the game. I know how to fix it, right? It'll take you 20 minutes.
You know how to fix. You know how to make everybody viable again.
Yeah. Could you imagine that? You're trying to play neutral. You're like, oh, let me just float, and they just call Krillin out, and he hidden missiles you full screen.
Yeah. Wait, it's all rocks. Like
yes. No, it's literally it would just be called Avalanche. That's what they would call it. It would be like multiple rocks. They would just call it Avalanche.
I'm fucking done, dude.
God.
Combo starter, combo breaker.
That's so good.
Krillin would be the only character in the game who could OTG.
Stop.
That would make him viable.
Why are you speaking things into existence, JDiesel?
Because they need to put me in charge. If they just do that, it would be easy.
If they put a Ginyu player in charge, I don't know how.
If they put Ginyu player in charge, every Ginyu would do exactly the same thing. They would just give him a 2L and they wouldn't care about anything else. That's all.
It's like, hey guys, here's a 2. Can I have a 2L?
No, if they gave Ginyu a 2L, I don't think you understand it. He's one of the characters who'd be truly nightmarish with a 2L. Could you imagine being caught in Tornado while he like calls like Galdo Raccoon and then like calls Bird or can cross up to either side and he's got a fast low? Oh, you would not want to fight that. Like that would be the point at which Ginyu would actually be insane.
I wouldn't want to fight that. Yeah.
So Mozo, I gotta ask.
Yes.
What's next for you? Because Summit happened.
That's true.
Yep.
Talk to us, Mozo.
What's next for you?
Well, the most recent thing is Retro Rumble, which we talked about briefly. So hopefully we can get more people to sign up for that. That'd be nice.
Yes.
But after that, I've been procrastinating, but I'm going to sign up for ECT.
Nice.
So I'm going to go to ECT. Yep. And hopefully, it'll be my second major after DTN. And at DTN, real quick, I got 49th place.
That's not bad.
So, that was my first ever major. Got lots of experience, played lots of pros. You know, I played Lord Knight, Nakyo, and the Kill Sage. Yep, it was a lot of fun. I had a blast. All of them. Lord Knight messed me up with the Trunks auto combo EX flip with the Kid Boo ball. I don't think I blocked that thing once. That thing was. I was like, oh my god!
You legitimately need to guess left right with that.
Yes,
you have to. It's some secret tech. Like I think, and like Thunderstruck just happened.
I'm pretty
this
sure
weekend.
you can actually just guard cancel the Boo Ball.
Yeah,
but you have to be guard canceling from like the other direction because the Boo Ball is over here as he's crossing up. Yeah. So I think the guard canceling you'd have to do it that way.
Yeah. Were you playing Sage or were you playing War Next? So LK was still playing Yamcha?
Oh, Yamcha. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Not
Sage is Boo.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So I was like, wait, because like there's two. Which, by the way, really quick, can we give a big shout out to Kill Sage winning his first major at Thunderstruck?
Congrats to Kill Sage. That's awesome. Man. Yeah.
Like that's big stuff.
That's awesome for him.
Yeah, no, like the World Tour is heating up, very much so. So since we're getting Gogeta next week, so me and Jay, we both have to hold that because we thought he was gonna come out in October.
I thought he was gonna be in October, but I'm actually glad they pushed it up.
Yeah. When do you guys think we're gonna get Broly?
I'll say November because they haven't unless they come out with like his trailer soon. Because we haven't. At least they did the trailer for Gogeta. And so that definitely sped up the timeline. And I personally thought he was going to come out in September, just because they had the trailer. And usually when they do the trailer, they usually release them relatively soon after, right?
That's true.
Unless we get the trailer for Broly anytime soon, within the next week or something, I'll keep thinking he's in November at the earliest.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I think he's gonna be. I think he's either gonna get announced at the. I think he's. What's gonna happen? And you can kind of quote me right now because there's 2 Saga events: Spain and Japan.
That's right. Yep.
I think he gets announced at the Spain Saga.
When is that one? Do you know?
I think that one's after.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No. Let me check.
Yeah.
I think that's after. Or it's either after or before Japan. Which, by the way, the standings right now, I think this is going to be the standings that we see for the rest of the year. And also it's really interesting to see, like this weekend upcoming, or in a couple weeks now, like we have Rev Major, we have UFA, and there's like other stuff coming up. Like so Spain is on November 9th, and then Japan is 3 weeks after that.
Oh.
So I think we're gonna get an announcement at Spain.
That's the next Tenkaichi event?
No, that's the next Saga event. I think we get information for Broly then.
Yep.
Release them in between Spain and Japan.
So actually, I got a question for you guys. So obviously, we have the players who are already qualified, basically, right?
Yep.
Which is just at this point Goichi. I think Fenrich is really close.
Yeah.
I think he like basically needs to like I think top 32 like one event. He's like basically there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I think the top like 3 or 4, I don't think that's that interesting, but I think what's more interesting is how do you guys feel about spots 8 through 16?
8
like
through 16.
5 through 12 right now, or no?
Yeah.
5 through 12.
Or 5 through 12, sorry.
Yeah, that is. It's like, honestly up in the air. Like, right? Like we had Chris G literally jump up in point this weekend. Like
when's Marvel?
Marvel? Like Chris G bumped up. Shanks is still up there. Like Shanks hasn't gone to anything really recently. I think his next thing might be World Tour Saga in Spain or something like that. Or UFA. I think UFA might be smart.
Where's UFA?
Yeah. UFA is in France. That's in October. I think Hook getting back into. I think the thing is with Hook, he needs to get back into playing shape because granted he did make top 8, right?
Yeah.
But like he got top 8 barely. Like he went to losers and like that was it was a very like hard top 8 to get into. Like Mexico is on their stuff. One player that I really think I think is, and like you guys are gonna hear this from me now. I'm gonna call it right now. I think Beneath is gonna qualify. I think Beneath is gonna be
really. I think he's gonna pull it together here.
Yeah, I think Beneath has like gotten way better. I think Beneath after like I think he should just stick to Piccolo TN. I think it just makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think Beneath is but I think I do agree with you, Jay. This 5 through 12 is more up in the air. Like Hero still has points. I think the last thing he went to was he went to the only thing he went to is Evo. So some of these players are only riding.
They're literally holding on by like barely anything. Like this weekend we had a breakout performance from Kuba. Who I don't know if you guys he's a Wednesday Night Fights commentator. I actually met him a while ago. But like
smart dude.
He managed to show up and get 3rd? Like
he got 110.
Like that's no easy feat.
Yeah, like, that's amazing.
He jumped up in points. So these are people that are behind Kuba right now.
Same with Super Noon. Like, because right now Kaimart's behind Aliun, Coach Steve. Let's see. Anyone?
Is it Goichi, Sonic, and then what's the order here?
So right now, top 4 is Goichi, Fenrich, Sonic, Fox, to Kill Sage.
Okay.
Currently, this is the crazy part. I just want to list these names off and just these are people that are behind Kuba. Bombabon, Super Noon, Kaimar.
Wow.
Let's see him. Who else?
That's awesome.
No Kami, Subatomic Sabers, Zed from somewhere, Kane, Lord Knight, Tachikawa. These are all world-class players. Yeah. And I mean, this is how like versatile this tour is. So it's gonna be interesting to see as a spectator, because there isn't anything really left on the East Coast, or in the States rather, for the tour. So it's really interesting to see as a spectator like who gets these points. But it's been a phenomenal podcast. Like this, and actually, like this is the fact that this is with Mozo. I told this to Mozo air. This is our very first CT player.
Yep.
Like we had DMV players on before we had CT play. It's I think because I've been really making sure you guys have been cultivating yourselves, and I'm really proud of everybody in the state. Like seriously, top to bottom, like y'all make me want to get back into the grind when the Gogeta comes out.
Do
Come
it.
back.
Just do it. Oh
Get
my
over
God.
here.
That's the thing. Like honestly, like seeing your guys' growth as a community. I did mention this to people. I think it matters. Being the best doesn't always come from results. It also comes from what you do in your community to make it grow. Like you can be the best like in a state, and it's like, oh, I have like first place, all this other stuff. But I think it's a matter of like what you do for your community. I think Mozo's one of the few examples. Like he worked hard. He's helped with a lot of the new players as well. He's been super nice to everybody. Like, I remember you talking like the Pinnacle and like Pinpoint, all these other players.
Yep.
So that's like when I look at that, I can like look back and be really proud of CT. So I just want to tell you that on air because I told you that. I have told you. No, yeah, no problem. Like you guys have really put in a lot of work. Same with you, Kai. Even though I give you shit on the daily,
gotta do it
on the daily. I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of Javi. I'm proud of everybody. Y'all have been doing so much work and makes my life as a TO / chasing the bag a lot easier. So, it is about that time we start wrapping up. We talked about Gogeta. We talked about CT. We talked about Wrath of the Mix. We talked about the World Tour a bit. What we like to do here on this lovely podcast
is time for the wrap up, which means Mozo, we're gonna kick you over with 5 minutes. Anything you want to shill, anything you want to talk about, any shout outs you want to give, people you want to hype up, all that jazz. Seriously. This time is for whatever you want it to be for right here.
All for me.
Make it happen.
It's all for you, fella. It's all for you.
Well, I mean, I have so many people to shout out. Like, all the people who have helped me. Obviously, Flo, you've helped me in many ways, and I appreciate everything you've done for the community. Just want to say thank you back to you. And thanks to you too, Jay, for inviting me on here. I've had a great time talking with you guys. So this is a lot of fun. But the person who I played with on Xbox, his name is White Lion. Shout outs to him. And then my friend Nelson, I went to high school with him. One of my very first training partners for Dragon Ball. John Dis. He hasn't been playing Dragon Ball as much, but he kicked my butt plenty of times to get me into gear. Javi, Gok, Juan, Joe, all the guys from UConn, you know. I have a lot of people who have helped me improve and get to where I am right now, and hopefully to help me keep on improving. So I'm gonna try to keep playing with those guys, and like I said, just keep improving. And I know where I need to improve, and just gotta keep practicing. And I'm gonna try to. I think I'm gonna try to play other games too. Just try to, because I other games give you benefits, right? And give you other ideas. Just help you with neutral, or like MK is a very neutral heavy game, right?
Right.
But even I started trying out Guilty Gear, and I really got into that before.
Really?
And with Guilty Gear 2020 announced, I'm like, all right, I want to get my basis, you know, like some basic knowledge on Guilty Gear, because I'm sure many people are going to be playing Guilty Gear 2020.
Oh, yep. Guilty Gear 2020 is definitely going to get a lot.
That's going to be
I know I'm going to be playing at least.
Yeah. So I've never played Guilty Gear before. Have you guys played Guilty Gear?
I love Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
I actually competed about it at Final Round. It's a really fun game.
Yeah.
I just need my girl biking. To come back.
Yeah.
That's my waifu. That's my certified waifu.
So originally I started playing Jam.
You play Jam?
I liked her. She looked fun. But then I went to UConn this weekend recently, and Ed, his name is
the Alpha player.
Yep. And he was teaching me about Guilty Gear more, and just playing with him, and he told me to play Soul Bad Guy, and that actually Soul's a lot of fun. He's with his dust loops. I gotta get those dust loops down.
Yep.
And with his 6P into dust loops, but I enjoy it, so I think I'm gonna try to put some more time into that. I always like Smash Ultimate. I have some people I can play that, and Banjo. I tried Banjo. I don't know if he's for me. I'm an Inkling player, so I'm degenerate. I love Inkling.
Hey, that dash dance is nice though.
Oh, it's the best dash dance in the game.
Oh, it's incredibly good.
It's you can't see where she's going. You can mix in some rolls in there. You know, the rollers not as good as people say, but I still love it. You know, she's just fun, and I played a lot of Melee growing up. So
yeah, and you have the PM background.
Yep, the PM, the Melee, and I can play her like a Melee character in sense, like the edge guards. I can be very aggressive with her, which I like. Which actually how I play Dragon Ball with Vegito, obviously.
Look, you got to step on the gas, right? Dragon Ball is not for cowards. All right,
no, not at all. Like it's like Marvel. Like if you don't want to get mixed, bitch, you're gonna get mixed, and you're gonna hate it, and you're gonna love it. Yo, Kite, listen, man. I don't want to play against Elfo. That's a lot of work.
I played against Elfo, and I took my beatings, but I'm determined to be an Elfo anti-technician. I don't like an anti-specialist.
Anti-specialist. That's a new one.
You know, anti-Elfo specialist.
I'm gonna steal that.
I'm determined. I'm determined to learn the Elfo.
Determined to learn it.
Yeah, just so I can beat any Elfo. But
that's awesome.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's
been an incredible It's an incredible podcast. Next week's 30, Jay.
It is.
Oh God.
Next week is the 30th episode of Under the Radar, my man.
Dude, if y'all haven't caught up on these podcast episodes,
there's actually a backlog right now, right? Like there's actually like
there.
Like if you go to the YouTube, like literally there is an entire playlist where you can throw these things on in the background at work and just listen to all of the headassery that happens on this podcast.
Bro, there's a lot of headassery.
Don't worry, there's like phenomenal advice and like deep introspective thought, but a lot of headassery too, right? They go hand in hand on this podcast. There's no middle ground.
So Jay, who's on for do we have an idea
who's on for episode 30?
We don't know yet.
Ooh, we don't know yet. Episode 30. I'm gonna do some asking around. I've got a couple ideas who I think would be interesting to have for an episode 30.
Yeah. So. If you guys have any suggestions because I think we're at the point now where like we're getting to like where anybody can really be on. If you guys have any suggestions who you guys want on the podcast,
yeah, I was gonna say if
please tweet at us.
Yeah, if you're listening, either you're listening live or you're listening on YouTube later. If you have a player in particular that you would like to see on this podcast, drop their name and I will be happy to reach out to them and try to get them on here.
If you tweet at us at our lovely Twitters listed below, and just use like the hashtag UTR. Let's get that hashtag.
Exactly.
I love that. UTR 30. Let's do it.
Make it happen, baby.
Yeah.
But
so
anyways, that's it. That brings us to the end of episode 29, and what a phenomenal episode it was. Thank you so much, everybody who is listening here live, anyone who is listening on YouTube. Without you guys, none of this would be possible.
Seriously,
I really appreciate
the lights
every single one. Yeah, that's it, FloKey. Let's tell we keep the lights on.
This is how we keep the lights
on. Thanks. That's how we do it.
This is how we pay our
I'll be sitting in the dark if you guys don't follow.
Guys,
all right, I'll let you know. Right?
I would be a degenerate Bardog GD player if you guys didn't follow this podcast.
Shout outs to everyone who dropped a follow today. I appreciate it. And Seriously. If those of you who watch this, you enjoy the content, be sure to follow all three of us on Twitter. They are all listed on screen right below our faces. These lovely, lovely faces. Yeah, but anyways, that is going to do it. I have been JDiesel.
I have been FloKey.
And I am Mozo.
And this
have been Mozo.
You know what? Close enough. Anyways, guys, this has been Under the Radar. I'm going to kick you over to my boy, Callie Mac, and I will catch y'all later. Peace out, guys.